guys. Happy Seed Bead Saturday. Thank you for joining. I'm excited. I have a really fun class for you guys today. And it's something really different. And it's a really great idea that I actually got from Rachel at Sam's Bead Shop. She was saying that something really cool, like a netted design, and she sent me some inspo, and I loved it. And so this design was inspired by some of her ideas that she shared with me. And it came out so cool. And I've been wearing it around. I like it so much. It's like the coolest color. And you could also do like a lot of stuff to make it like longer or shorter. You can reduce or increase the number of repeats in the pattern to get lots of different looks. So lots of places you can take this. And so in today's class, I'm just going to walk you through how to create it. And then from there, you can just go to the adaptations, just go to town and start making stuff. I do have a project PDF for this design since it is some bead weaving. And it's usually pretty helpful to have a PDF for stuff like that. So if you check out, I've got it pinned in YouTube, but let me go ahead and just pop this up on the screen really quick. If you go to my website, this is where I've put a link to the PDF. And the shopping link is on there as well. So if you just click on that, there'll be like a whole list of everything that I'm using, and then a link, like a hyperlink for every single piece that I've used. So you can go and find it, including the bead mix, which is a custom-made mix by Sam's Bead Shop. And it's also, it's in 11.0, guys. So I'm using 8.0 exclusively today, but you can get the 11.0 if you want to grab that color too. That's also linked in the website there. And it's just like, you'll click on Shop the Project, and it will come right up for you. I do have a giveaway today, and it's something a little unusual and different. I was inspired to check out the new tools from Beadalon, so I actually have a set for you. Let me show you that over here on my other screen really quick. So we're going to go to right here. So our giveaway hashtag today is hashtag Tourmaline. And I'll leave that up for a second while I get my mat. Actually, I'm going to set my mat here and show you the giveaway really quick. So it's actually a whole set of tools. You can see it in the little square there below. It's everything that they have in the new like Glimmer series. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here. And then let's make this one the big one. Not me. There we go. All right. So this one is like there's some square, basically all the ones I think are essential as the ones I picked up. So round, square, bent, fine, and some side cutters, or semi-flush as they're called. I wish they were like totally flush cutters, but I didn't see those in the set and I wanted to match. So, but I think semi-flush does a pretty good job, right? I tend to go for more for flush cutters myself, but I have been using these and found that they do cut pretty well. So yeah, so this is my giveaway for today. And I'm going to dive into the project and just show you, actually, I'll need to bring that down to the big screen really quick. Let's see here. We'll go to a big solo layout so you can see really well everything that I've got on the mat. Okay, so there are some Tourmaline nuggets. And the Tourmaline nuggets, those are, they vary in size a little bit, but not too much. They vary in color as well. And you'll notice that all the colors that are in there are inspired in the mix as well. So they're mixes of everything from like bright yellow citrine all the way down to the deepest of greens and the deepest of wine. So lots of pink and everything in between in there. Same thing with the Rondelles. So these are Tourmaline Rondelles, and they are available by the Strand. And I have in the PDF, guys, listed all the quantities for you. And here's the design itself. And in the handout, I've identified the number of repeats that I used and the length of these chain segments that I created. But the gist of it is you create 15 netted segments. So you'll need 15 of these beads, which you get a lot of them. So you, for a strand, you'll have lots of selection. So you can, if you want to kind of like focus on, hey, I would like to have a certain color or a certain size, then yeah, that's something you'll want to just look around in, but I don't think you're going to need to buy more than one strand unless you want to make a lot of repeats or more than one necklace. I think one will do fine. Same is true for the Rondelles. I think a strand will do it because these are what I have left from one strand after making this necklace. I also only used one tube, and here's what I have left from that tube. So I was doing some color selecting. So I would recommend if you want to make this more than one or longer, you probably would want to go up a tube, but I was able to color select and still have a pretty good amount left. So I didn't run short of anything doing that. And then last but not least, there's a really pretty button. And on Sam's Bead Shop's Shop the Project page, they have this button in other finishes too. And I think this finish is beautiful, but others would work. Like, can you see it with copper and gold? I can. I think it would be just glamorous. That's the thing about tourmaline is like it kind of looks good with any metal finish that you want. So that's one of the things I really love about it. I want to grab the PDF really quick and show you guys. And I have it here right on my printer. Or at least I thought I did. It's printing now. But I have it. Actually, I could bring it up on the screen. Let's go ahead and do that. That's probably a little easier. Let's share my web page. There you guys can see. So here's actually the landing page and how to shop the all the projects featured or products featured. But here's the document that shows you how to do all of the steps in here. And so go ahead and download that. If you're having any questions about like how to find it, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to find. Oh, it's only showing you my page here. Sorry about that. It's not actually showing the document. But if you go there, you'll find it and it'll have everything that you need on it. All right, well, let's dive in because it's got a lot to show. And so I'm just going to set this aside really quick. And keep these out because I'll need those. I won't need this till the end. So I'm going to set that aside. Thanks, Cecilia. Yeah, and Debbie, I like the button too. That is super cool. And I see Lorena's question. This is a Sam's Bead Shop exclusive mix. And it is called Pink Tourmaline. Or I think we just called it Tourmaline Mix, actually. I can tell you for sure. 1 second here. Actually, we called it Danielle's Tourmaline Mix. Just taking a quick look. Yeah, it's called Danielle's Tourmaline Seed Bead Mix 80 Miyuki Rounds. So you should be able to find that on the website. And I do have this linked directly from both the PDF and the website there. And again, that's that link that's up at the top. And it's all size 80. I'm working with 5 colors. The mix has 5 colors in it. And guys, you will love this mix. It's truly, truly glamorous. And it really is reminiscent of Pink Tourmaline. It like pulls all those colors out. So if you look at the gemstones itself next to it, you'll feel like you have all the colors you need to represent each of the colors in the design. So let's see. I'm going to just aim a little lower here with my camera because we are bead weaving. And remind me at the end, guys, to show you what I think I'm going to be using for the next project. Because if you're shopping right now, actually, let me do that now in case you guys shop during the live. But there are also these pink tourmaline coins. And these are what I'm going to feature in the video that I'm doing for Sam's Bead Shop. And that'll be in the next week or so that you'll see that pop up. But look at those. Oh, my goodness. And you can see all those colors in here, just like the way that those almost yellow and almost green. It's really, truly stunning. So you'll see this on the landing page that I linked you to in the both the website and the PDF. So if you want to snag those, I'll be using those next. But today's project, you just need these items and a button. That's it. And you only need 1 tube of your mix. So I'm going to see how far I get with what I've got left of this tube. And because I still have a project to go. And I've only used a little bit of my 3rd one. But go ahead and just dump out a little bit. We can add more as we need it. And let's talk about thread just really quick. So for your thread, there's a lot of different things you can use. But I'm primarily going with Fireline. And you can use, like, for example, any of the real, like 6-pound, 8-pound. You can use Wildfire as well. If you prefer to use Wildfire, that's great. It's a really forgiving. We're working with 80 seed beads here. And And so it's really nice. Now the length is something you want to think a little bit about. I go into detail about planning the length in the PDF. In the PDF, it talks about how many repeats and what length you got. So this design, as I have it stitched right here, is 16 inches. And so that wears for me just like right on the collarbone. And that's what I was going for with the length. So 15 repeats plus 6 inches of chain on each side. And that gives you roughly about a 16, a little bit over that. But I went a little down from what it truly measures because you have to fasten a button. So I would call it 16 inches because once you get it fastened, that's how it's going to be. Overlaps a little bit, right? So if you want to make it longer or shorter, each of these repeats in the net is going to give you 1/2 inch. I measure that 1/2 inch along the top because how it wears is its shortest is at the top. So I measured at the shortest spot. I basically took the tape measure and like I just draped it right like above to see what that measured. And then I added these 6-inch strands to it. So that's where I'm getting the 16 from. And I see a quick question. I'm just going to answer really quick here. Will I be making projects with the 11.0? I think I will. I don't currently have it, but I'm going to order it and I'm definitely going to do some projects with it. But for my very next project is going to feature these items here. 1 tube and this strand of coins. So if you want to plan ahead and combine your order, these are going to be the video that you'll see on Sam's Bead Shop YouTube channel will be this one here. And today I'm working with just 1 tube of the 8/0 and I'm working with the Rondell strand and the nugget strand. And so if you like this like length and you feel like this is going to work for you as far as how you, or if you just like the number of nets, but you maybe want to vary the chain, I would say go with about 120 inches of thread. It's a little bit extra, but it gave me the ability to weave in. And I liked that, being able to bring my strand back down through the work and really like reinforce some of the edges. I didn't go all the way back through the net, but on each of these sides, I probably reinforced the first 3. And because that's where the strength points are required, I feel like in this design. So as far as how much thread to cut, if you're just not sure and you just want to go with what I did 120. All right. And so I'm getting a beading needle next. I need to get a size 10 beading needle, but I think pretty much anything's going to work. So when you're working with this kind of seed bead size 8, you can get away with a lot of different sizes of needles, bead weaving needles. And let's see, here they are. Sorry, hiding from me. Let's grab that one. So with Fireline, if you're trying to thread your needle and you're having any trouble at all you got to do is just kind of like do a little press here and you can flatten it. How cool is that? It's really neat. Oh, and I'm seeing a note here. I'm not finding the coins. Oh, they're probably coming. I apologize, guys, and I should have double checked. I could have swore I saw them because I saw a bunch of other things on there, but yeah, I'm sure they're coming. For today, the only thing you really needed is the nuggets and the rondelles. And there we go. Just thread my needle there. Okay. All right. So let me just set this aside again for just a second. And I'm going to go ahead and get a few of these out. So in the design that I made, I selected slightly for kind of pinkish color, but I wasn't really stuck on it because you can see like I kind of went and added some of the golds. But for the most part, I went for roughly the same saucer-like shape and sort of kind of focused on pink. And that's true for the rondelle as well. So you see what I've got going there does not need to be like super exact at all. But there's some outliers on the strands because these are natural, beautiful stones. So as far as those outliers go, if you want to just select out the ones that are vastly different And just for a bead weaving design, work with the ones that are kind of close. That will help, but again, not required, because I did find that I had a pretty easy time getting, like this. All of these are great. Every single one of those will work. So don't get too worried about it if that's stressing you out or anything. All right, so step one, and I'm currently working in the handout if you're following along as step one. So this one is a pink, one of the 80, they're all 80, and the colors are pink. There is like a darker, almost red that I call wine in the handout. And then there's another color that is like a teal, and that teal color is a transparent. It's lighter in color than the next one down from it, which is a matte frosted, darker teal. And then there's also a yellow, beautiful yellow color. So I tried to represent those as best I could in the handout. And here's the nugget. So we're stringing a pink, a nugget, and a pink. And I'm just going to slide those to the end. And remember, you're going to want to leave that tail to be about 25 to 30 to, I think 30 inches would be the max you need. In the handout, I think I said 20 to 25 or so. But keep in mind, it's really just based on the amount of tail you're leaving if you're trying to figure out like what you want to do. On each side, the amount of tail is just needed to do this from this spot right here to the end of your chain. So for me, I can get up and down through that in roughly 14 inches of thread, but then I wanted to have extra so I could weave around. And so I think I had left probably 25 inches, and I did an extra little circle up here. And I'm hoping to be able to show that on at least one side. But so when you're thinking about how much tail, that's what you need it for. So that can kind of help you, find a number there that works for what you're planning to do. You can always add thread too. That's another thing. It's super easy to add thread. But so basically with whatever tail you're going for there, that's here on this side for me. And now I'm stringing my pink, my nugget, Tourmaline nugget, and a pink. And now here's kind of the pattern that repeats throughout. So we're going to do 2 wine, 3 transparent teal, and then you need a rondelle. And again, in this design, I kind of focused on using the pinks, but you don't have to do that. Just whatever you like. And I'm going to get a few more beads. I don't think I'll get a second necklace out of one tube because it a little bit more heavily uses the dark teal. If you're going to run out of a color, it'll be that one. Here's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so there's Rondell and 6 of the dark frosted matte teal color. All right, so the next thing I need is another Rondell. I'm just going to slide this down. Got a lot of thread here. So this is what I have so far. Now I need to just go back and reverse with 3 of the teal and 2 of the wine. Let's string those down. From here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go now back through just the pink 80 seed beads and the Tourmaline nugget. So it can help if you just kind of space these ones down, right? The little smiley face there. And we're just going to go up through these 3 beads right here. Oh, thanks, Sassy Pants. A nice compliment. It's going to pop up on the screen here. I love your name too. Your name is awesome. Very, very cool. Thank you so much. All right, and so I'm just going to go back through these 3 beads right here, all 3 of them. With my needle, and then preserve that tail. You could always use a stop bead too if that helps. I skipped it, but because once you get to this spot, it's pretty tight. But that right there is kind of in a nutshell the design, the general structure of it. So that is 1 repeat basically, or I think in the document I called it 1 net point. Okay, so let's start another net point. We're moving into We're actually getting into step 3 now. So we're going to pick up, actually, this is the last part of the former step, is picking up these 3 yellows. I think I ended each of the steps with ending with the connection beads. So at the top, you'll add 3 of those yellow, and that's your jump right here. So it's the one that's going to bring you over to the next one. So 3 yellow, and now we need to repeat. So definitely into step 3 now. We're going to pick up a pink bead, a nugget bead, and another pink. And for now, it's all just going to kind of hang out here on the side. But let's select out our 2 wine color, 3 transparent teal. That's the lighter one. Now I need a rondelle. And then I need to go to try to find 6 of the darker ones. Oops. Sorry, guys, I hit the camera. I've got it pretty low so you can see what I'm doing. That's still good? It like twisted on me there. There we go. It's really easy to hit the camera. I'm working with a lot of thread, so it's a little unwieldy at the moment. All right, and so this part, it looks a little funky, but what we're going to do here, do you remember how we were adding a rondelle before we added the 3 lighter and then the 2 wine colors? We're going to share the rondelle for this step from the former one. So we're just going to go up through the rondelle here. And this is the adjacent rondelle from the former loop. And so just tighten everything up. And bring that thread all the way up through the rondelle. So you'll have something that looks like that. And now we just need to close it up by picking up 3 of the transparent and 2 of the wine. So those beads there. And we're going to head back through the pink seed bead and then the nugget and then the pink seed bead. All right. There it is. And so what we just did there is what you repeat to get all the segments. It's literally that easy. How cool is that? It is really, really, really cool. And so the cool thing about this design as well is that you have the opportunity to tighten everything in more than one spot. So right now I'm able to tighten this whole loop by just pulling on that strand. That comes in handy as you go. And then each one that you add locks in how tight that former one was. So super, super nice. All right, let's do it again. We got to do 3 more of these yellow beads. And now we're going to add the pink and then one of the beautiful little nuggets, another pink. There we go. Okay, and then 2 wine, 3 of the lighter teal, and then string that down. And I wanted to say also, if you wanted to, you could go through the rondelle right now. I think what I did on the last one was I kept stringing and then joined it, but you can also go this way. You're going to get the same result. It's just whether you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise through. But so you could also do that. Either way is totally okay. And here's 1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, and 3. And so because I went through the rondelle here before, I'm going to go ahead and grab a new one. There we go. And now I'm back to the 3 lighter teal and the 2 wine color. String those down. So far so good. And next thing, we just want to go up through these 3 right here. Oh, hey, I see someone saying that something was wrong with Facebook. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, this was happening I was on a live last night, and I noticed the same thing was happening there too. Facebook was coming in and out, and all of my people in Facebook are coming up as Facebook user. Um, yeah, let's see how that's going to work for. Hmm. Gonna see. So you said it's back, and let me see if I can fix that really quick. Sorry, guys. I do not know why it is doing that. All right. So right now, I apologize, but I can't tell who. Yeah. So if you guys are on Facebook right now, um, you're welcome to stay on Facebook if you'd like. But if you enter the giveaway, it will come up as Facebook user. So you may want to hop over to either my YouTube channel or Sam's Bead Shop YouTube channel. If you have YouTube, or you can just type it into like a browser, youtube.com, and then / Danielle Looks Jewelry or Sam's Bead Shop. It should bring you there. Also, if you go to the link in the event there, you can click on the link. In fact, let me just do that one more time for you guys really quick. I'm going to pop this in here. I'm going to put the link right here for you. So if you click on this link here, actually it's telling me it didn't go into Facebook here. This link should take you over to YouTube. Now I'm not having this problem with, it's only my YouTube, sorry, my Facebook that's having this problem. So if you're on Sam's Bead Shop YouTube, I'm not seeing an issue. It's just on mine. I don't know why. I might need to go and fix something. So let's see really quick. Yeah. From my end, guys, I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it. So if you want to just head over to my YouTube channel or Sam's Facebook, that should work. I apologize for that. Tech issues. It was happening last night, so I don't think it's something that I've done or changed. So it's just kind of a thing, but I will look into it for sure. All right, so how's everyone feeling about the design? I was thinking, since we're doing pretty good on time, we're only at the 27-minute mark right now. Yeah, Deborah's saying that I was there for that one. I was on that one with them, and we were all trying to fix it, and none of us could figure it out. So there's just something maybe with the stream. Yeah, and so what I thought I would do here is I would get through at least 5 or 6 repeats like this, and then I'll show you putting on the chain. But pretty much, like, I think it's from here, it's really the same thing over and over again. So a couple more times seeing it, do you think would be good? But if anyone wants to see it more, we're doing great, so we can do that. All right, so let's go ahead, and we got the 3. And again, everything I'm doing right now is a repeat of step 3 from the PDF. So let's do pink and tourmaline and pink. And then I'm going to go and string my wine colors, 2 of those, 3 of these really beautiful transparent, like almost like emeraldy color. And then again from here, you can go through the rondelle right now and share it. And I think that's how I illustrated it. So why don't I do it that way? But it is totally okay to string it and then go back through it. Both of those are totally fine. So just like that, connect it. And then we're going to need 6 of the dark teal frosted matte. So I've got 6 of those. Oh, hey, Linda. Yeah, Lorraine, this is a super, super design for variation. You can do so many great things with a design like this. I really like things where you can just add, and colors can change, but counts also, bead sizes, you name it. It's really, really adaptable. And so right now I'm just stringing the other side. I had to add a rondelle, and now I've added the 3 teal in the 2 wine color. And we'll just go right through all 3 of those. So that's the pink, the nugget, and then the pink. And there we go. So let's do more. At the very end of step 3, it shows adding 3 more of the yellow, which is our join color from the top. Thanks, Helen. Yeah, these colors are so pretty. This is a custom bead mix designed for Sam's Bead Shop. They did such a nice job. This is really pretty. I'm going to need more of these. Let's find one that, I think that's a good one. Let's see. Ooh, that one. No, that one's good. So natural gemstones. So don't be afraid to try different, slightly different shapes. You just don't want to go with something that's really an outlier. Like I think, for example, these go from a little over 9 into 12 millimeter range. And I'm kind of sitting there like below the 10.5 number. I think I didn't grab any of the really large ones, but it's such a generous strand that you'll have plenty to select from. And then I think what I'll do is we'll do another little bracelet. We'll just put a seed bead in between each one of our leftovers and make a beautiful bracelet. So that would be a super easy and really satisfying design. And so here's my 3. I'm going to show you guys just the going around the other way, just because in case anyone didn't see that, I only did it that way on the first one. But so I do believe in the handout what I show is it going right through there. But if you, for some reason, picked up a rondelle and just wanted to go this way, you could. So here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here we're just going, I guess you could call it clockwise. So you've got our rondelle here. You've got the 6 of the frosted dark. And then you can come up through the other rondelle. I think maybe it's easier the other way, though, because this way I'm having some tightening issues. So I think it's actually better to go down through the rondelle. And then here's the rest of those beads. I need to complete that. So those. And we're going to go through the pink and the gemstone and the pink. Oops. Anybody spot that? I do think it's easier to go the other way. Let's fix it. And also one other thing I was thinking about, actually, I think Rachel was asking me about this now that I think about it. She was saying, could we do one with all just mixed colors? Because what I chose to do here was one that is, has these color blockings, so it gives it that ombre effect. But we could just mix them up. And that might be a way to stretch the rest of our mix. You'd have to pay a little bit more attention to the actual count. I find that when I do color blocks like this, it's a lot easier for me because it's doing the counts for me. And I spotted one more error, guys. I apologize. I've got too few of my teal. Do you see that? Let's fix that really quick. I'm going to go ahead and just bring that back. And I'm kind of proving to myself by this exercise that I do prefer going through the rondelle first. I think it just makes more sense to my brain. Let me show you what I mean one more time. So I just got to pop my needle back on there. Yeah, if you destruct, take your needle off because it will tangle on you and get into a little knot. Okay. So in the handout, what it shows is going right to the rondelle from this step. I think I'm kind of going to go on the limb and recommend that now because you saw, yeah, and I see Terry's like, I should have looked up and saw. She was trying to save me. It's true. So I think actually you will find it much, much easier to go from here straight through the rondelle, even though it's not required. For some reason, for my brain, just clicks a lot more. Let's do that. And now we'll go through and add these. All right. And I'm going to grab a pink rondelle because that green was fading into the work. Save that for the chain. Let's do 3 here. Oh, I did it again. Goodness griefers. There we go. Okay, guys, error check me. Make sure I got this right. It looks okay. All right. Here's 4 and 5, and here's the last one there. Okay, so far so good. This last one is giving me a little extra effort on my counting abilities. One more of these. Those 2. All right, and then we're just going to go and head through all 3 of those. So what do you guys think? Going through the rondelle first, that's the way, right? I like that better. All right. So there's 5 repeats. And how to make those. Yeah, Terry says we all do it. We get distracted. Yeah, I think I was a little distracted by the Facebook thing because I've noticed a lot of you guys are still coming up as Facebook user. I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, just if I miss your comment or I don't call out your name, I apologize. It's not showing up for everybody's names if you're on Facebook. But so for this project, what I was thinking we could do is just to make sure I get enough time to show you like everything. I want to start and show you the chain, but just know that in the regular design, I went out and did 15 more repeats. And so I'll put this on again at the end so you can see how it looks with 15. But this is really up to you. You can keep going. You can go with more. It'll use a lot more of the gemstones, but it's still, you'll save rondelles because the rondelles are used a lot here, but it'll use more of your nuggets. Which, I mean, there's no reason you can't just keep going. I mean, it looks really, like to me, I feel like I wish I'd thought of this a little earlier enough for Halloween. Because what if I just made each of these a little longer? I could have made it in gold and it would have been like for a Cleopatra costume. This is how you can make one of those. And it's been a dream of mine to make something just like super stunning like that for a long time. And I'm even picturing it with like little, like all gold, but with like a lapis in it. We could put these as lapises. And then what would you do up here? I'm thinking about that. Gosh, it's so cool. So that's on my bucket list of bead dreams that I want to do a really like very big collar. It will have so many thread ads and it will just go all the way around like back behind your shoulder like that. And then so great for a costume. So cool. So let's do the chain. Let's do the chain together. This is just a style that I made up and you can basically do anything that you like. And what bead mix am I using? Let's see. So I am using, this is the Danielle's Tourmaline mix. That's an 8.0 Miyuki seed bead mix that has 5 colors in it. And you can get this from Sam's Bead Shop. So if you go to Sam's Bead Shop or if you go to the link that I've put in the description, and I can also just paste that link one more time just for everybody because I know we're having some stream issues here. So let's go ahead and make sure everyone gets a chance to see that. And apologies, I can see again, it's not going to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, forgive me, it's not going to give you that link I just talked about, but I'll pop it up on the screen. But if you go here, not only will you find a link to this video and the PDF, but you'll find a link to all of the beads that I'm using and where to buy them. And so you'll only need 1 tube for this necklace if you're making it about the same about the same length that I've got going here. You can always add though. Grab 2 tubes and make it longer, however you'd like to do it. And I'm seeing, Tina, you might have a typo on your hashtag. It's supposed to be hashtag Tourmaline. Oh, Karen says she's done one of these. That's cool. Yeah, it's on my dream list. I think that would be so fun, wouldn't it? And it's a way to do gemstones. Like I feel like gemstones are really going to shine in a design like this. Any kind of gemstone, really. So let's get the chain going. We won't need any more of our nuggets. I'm just going to set those aside. But we're still going to need our rondelles if you like the kind of the chain that I did. And I worked it in an ombre. I started with 3 of the dark color. And actually, I'm going to dump these out. Certainly not required, but what I did that I thought was super fun is I started to kind of match the color of the gemstone as I was doing the chain. And so here's the next 3 here. So a little bit lighter green, like this pretty one right there. It was really soothing. I know also like a little bit nerdy, but I just really enjoyed sitting there matching the colors as I went along, you know, with my chain. It was super fun. And I just went from dark to light and then back from there to dark using groups of 3. Let me show you. And this is all in the handout, so you don't have to memorize that. See, I just strung, when I got to yellow, I went back up to the pink. And in the handout, I illustrated this entire chain on both sides so you can see what those counts are. And again, that'll give you 6 inches of chain if you repeat that exactly. So now let's find one of the red ones. Ooh, look at that. I think it was just fun for me to take a look at, you know, all of the colors in the mix, and I could find a matching color in the Rondell strand for every single one. Oh, I thought that was really fun. There's a pink one. And here's 3 yellow. See how pretty that is? I don't know, it chills me out. I just really like it. Let me see if I missed any questions really quick. Tina's asking how long did it take me to complete? Probably about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, I would think. But when I made this one, I was experimenting, so maybe quicker. I think I did a couple different versions of the chain. I tried a couple different things and then settled on this one as my favorite. Yeah, Morphing Design's asking if I add that to my sketchbook. I should. I don't think it's in there currently, but I definitely need to. And I need to decide like how I want it to look. It's definitely, I think I would both widen it and make it longer. So it's just a lot more stunning, like much bigger block. It's going to be very seed bead intense. It's going to use a lot. It might take me a year to make that. Oh yeah, Leanna's saying she made one using 11/0s. It will take a lot longer with 11/0 for sure. Yeah, Karen, I agree. This is like our dream, is using the gemstones with the seed beads. The folks at Sam Bead Shop, that's something that we chat about all the time. It's like, how can we really make the gemstones like shine in a design with seed beads? And I feel like we've come up with a lot of good ones. Yeah, and so this is how I did the chain. And so from when I got to yellow, which is the last color I hadn't used yet, then I just went back to pink. And grabbed a pink tourmaline. Kind of chasing them around the mat here. I want that one. Okay, I'll give up on that one. Let's go for this one. There we go. And then let's see, let's get the wine color. Nice dark one. Gosh, that's so pretty. Okay. And then we need to go to the lighter of the teals. And that one. And then the dark teal. Pretty color. Look at that. And lots of those to choose from in the Strand. So I kept going like that until I had gone from, so we've done one full repeat so far, like that. I went ahead and did that one more time and got back down to the teal color, the dark teal. On the button side, I went ahead and strung the button. Let's see, we're still doing good on time, so I should be able to show you both sides. Let's do the button. So 2 of the seed beads. And you can use any color seed bead here. It will be hidden under your button when you're wearing it. So, but I just did 2. And then what I did is I went through the button. And then before I went back down to the chain, so you see how it's strung like this right now. I tightened it right down next to everything. And I went ahead and went around one more time. So threads coming out of there. And I just did that because I felt like it needed an extra pass. Now I did come through and do a back up and down the entire chain again as well, which in the handout I said was optional, but I did do that. But here I went through the button twice and then back down through all of the beads. So that's where having that extra thread. It seems like a lot of thread, but and you can always add. And if you guys haven't, let's see, I'm trying to remember where what channel I was on when I did the. Have I shown you the Fireline thread connection for the lazy didn't want to weave in peoples like myself for adding thread? If I haven't shown that, I'll show that now. It requires a thread burner, so that memory jogs anyone. Have I shown that yet? I don't know. But there you go. So I made a full trip back down my chain. And I went through the pink and the gemstone and the pink in that first net. And so from here, what you can do, lots of different options here. If you feel like this is okay, you know, taking a look at it, see if we went through it twice. We just looped through. But really what you only have here is you have 2 strands running through this chain. And so since you have 2 strands running through it and there's only one connecting all these, strength speaking, I feel like it's okay to keep going and weave in here. But if you just want to be extra sure and head all the way back up and back down, which I sometimes do on work that I'm going to give or sell, just because if I'm going to wear it myself, I might not do it because I can fix it if I need to, if it ever was too loosened but if I'm going to give it, then I might do that. And so here's how you do that. Just travel through all of those. And also I should mention I'm working with 8-pound. So that's another thing to consider as far as the strength of the design. If you're using like a 6-pound or even a smaller thread, then the reinforcing becomes something you might want to think about. But see, this puts me right back here. So all I did was I made a trip around. And now I'm here and I can go all the way back up through my chain. If I have enough thread, loop around the button. And then if I run out of thread, I can add thread, and I'm just scrolling to see if I have already shown that. I'm seeing some yeses, but then I've got a request to show it again. More time's always good. It doesn't take but a second, so let's do it. So this is plenty of thread here, but say I ran out and I wanted to add. I would take the new thread. Let me grab some off my spool here. All right. And so I'm still on the spool, but here's my new one, my old one. And I can just do a regular knot. This is Fireline. So the other one I showed you guys where you're doing with 1G has that step where you loop it. You can do that if you want, but with Fireline, you don't have to. But what I'm talking about is bringing this into a loop, bringing this strand behind this one. What I'm doing now will work even if I don't do it this way, but why not? So then you create a loop with this side, bring that up. And then you just bring that tail through the loop that you brought up through it. And that makes a knot, but you can also just do a shoelace knot, and it's totally fine. Both of them are going to do this. See how it's moving and moving and moving and getting shorter and shorter with the tails. Before you go any further there, just get a thread burner or something that you can use to mushroom the ends, like a lighter, something like that. And just burn those ends. You got to do this before you pull it through, or you'll just separate. But once you've done those little mushrooms, oops, it didn't work that time. I just didn't mushroom it enough. Let me try again. There we go. No business that time. And I've got to knot it again, sorry. So that's just a double shoelace knot this time. And that time it should hold. So you do have to mushroom it a lot, which gives you a knot that's kind of big. So keep that in mind if you're working with something like a 15. Oh yeah, Debbie, that's where I showed this one. I know I showed it with 1G on our carnelian project. The 1G version was a little different because it was thread. So you have to do that loop thing I was showing you just a second ago. But with the Fireline, just do a shoelace knot. It's way easier. And then all you got to do is burn those ends, but you got to burn them like a lot. So, but then you get this little knot like that. It'll go through an 11-0 Miyuki, okay. It'll go through 8-0, no problem. You won't even notice. But some of the more Indian cut gems, let's test it with the ones we got here, actually. Let's go trim this for my spool. And flatten these ends here. How am I doing on time? Oh, I'm getting tight on time, guys. Let me get back on track. So I want to show if it goes through gem or not, the knot that I made. This is about the smallest little hole I've seen on this batch of gems. Here's my knot. Yeah, no problem. It goes right over it. No issues. I can get it back and forth over those. So I don't think this is one of the, let me think about this for a sec. You know, it might be standard drill. I don't think this is one of the really tiny drills. Like some of the gemstones have such a small, tiny, or like pearls. I would say test it because you may have to weave in if you have like a pearl or a really tiny drilled gemstone. But other than that, this trick could save you having to weave in. So yeah, so there's that side. If you want to go reinforce it, we're a little tight on time. Do you guys want to see how to do this, or do you feel like maybe me just talking you through it would work? Let me know if you guys want to see it. I'll string while you think about it. It's a pretty simple little seed bead loop. It's 18 beads. And actually, I don't have to keep stringing the entire design. I could just string a few and then show you. There we go. Okay, so let's push this to the side. It's my other side. So on my starting side, same thing. I would just select out my pattern with my rondelles. Just keep going like that. Yeah, and Tina says she wants to see it. And then I see a couple talk through it. Talk through it would be fine. You know what? How about I do half and half here? So instead of stringing this entire thing up to some length, I'll just show the button right now. So however long you want to make this, probably longer than that, I would guess. But however to your length, end with a rondelle. And from there, you want to string 18 seed beads in. It doesn't matter what color you're using. I was using the dark color because I ended with that one, but you can use any color you want. You can mix it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. Okay. All right. And so I want to show just a little quick trick for how to reinforce it if you didn't want to go all the way back through your strand. Now, I kind of do recommend going back through it for the button loop side, but just in case you don't have enough thread or you're using a really thick thread, for example, you can go back through like this. So going back through all these beads. And then just, now I've got 2 loops of thread in there before I head back down through here. And you can always go through it again if you want to. That's completely optional. You can always just go right back through the rondelle if you'd like, and then come all the way back up the chain. A couple ways you can do that. There we go. All right. And so what you'll get is you'll get something that looks like that. And that's your button loop. And so you can always do the trip through like this and head around. This is just what I call traveling, going back through all these beads. I'm gonna head up through these. All right, and then that puts you right where you want to be to go all the way back up through here. Reinforce your chain. If you didn't want to reinforce your chain, but you wanted to weave in, carry on through the yellow ones. And then go down through some more nets here. So this is how you weave in when you're done. You just go down through this one here. I can usually get through all 3 of those in a swoop, so I just go for that. And then just start making trips around. And I didn't do any knotting as far as like when I was weaving in. I just went through 3 segments basically. So I would go this way, up, over, down through here and around, and then just trimmed it kind of up there somewhere. But I went through 3, and every time you go through it, it does give it some extra strength and pop. So that's a very, very abbreviated version of this beautiful one, which I promised I would try on so you guys could see it. So let's go ahead and bring up my screen really quick. All right. And so here's the necklace, how it looks when it's just like kind of hanging. And it takes me a minute to do the button behind the back of my head. So apologies, it's going to take me a minute. But there it is. So I like the length of this is good for me, 16 inches or so. I think it's like a hair more, but the button kind of overlaps. So I wasn't quite sure how to measure it. If you like laid it out and measured it, you get like 16 1/4-ish, a little more than a quarter. But yeah, if you follow the pattern exact, that's what you'll get. You can always make, you know how I did a button loop? You could always put a chain. Like you could add a clasp and a chain to the end. So it's adjustable too. If you just kind of wanted to make this like count, but you maybe wanted to change how it fits. So it's another way you could do it. Yeah, so let's do our giveaway. Let me bring this over here. And I wanted to also apologize in advance if you're on Facebook and you entered as Facebook user. If it comes up as Facebook user, I'm going to have to redraw because I won't have any way of knowing who on Facebook that is. This happened with Softflex last night too. We went through, if I can't get this fixed, we'll find another way to do it in the future. But let's go ahead and go to my share screen. And we'll do this one here. All right, can everybody see that? Yeah, Tina, this would be so beautiful all the way around. Super Cleopatra style. It'd be very cool. And in case anyone hasn't entered yet, it's just hashtag Tourmaline. And it's just for a set of the, what is called Glimmer Series Flush Cutter. Sorry, Glimmer Series. This is the flush cutter I'm holding, but I have a set of 5 tools. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the 5th one here. So that they're the tools that I consider essentials for wire work. All right, so and Deborah, it looks like you've got a typo. You'll need to do hashtag Tourmaline. I'm just going to give for a second for, there we go. Gotcha. Okay. I got Deborah's entry and I'm going to hit the button here in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh, Deborah. I'm glad we fixed your typo. How cool is that, guys? All right. So Deborah, send me your info. Best way to find me is just to go to daniellewixjewelry.com and hit the contact form there. But if you have my email, you can do that, or you can do the Etsy is another way. I'm also on Instagram as @DanielleWixJewelry and on Facebook. So I'll check all those places to look for you. And if I already have your address in my records, I'll double check. I think I might. So yeah. All right. So I want to wish you guys a great rest of your week and weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. Happy Veterans Day to those of you guys here in the US with me. We're taking the boys to do flags. We go and we put flags at the for veterans when we go to the local cemetery, and if there's like they're a veteran, we put a flag. So that's something that they're in the Boy Scouts. So that's what they do. And yeah, and so I had a couple questions here in the chat earlier that I didn't have a chance to answer, which was, what are you doing for the next video? And so the next video is going to use the 8-0 seed bead mix in a new special project. And I was going to pull in these coin beads. So the coin beads are here, but I'm hearing that they're not up yet. So don't sweat it. I'll tell you the sizes and things like that, and you can always add it later to like your next order, but I don't think it's currently on the site. But this is for the next project, so that'll probably be out at the end of next week. And forgive me if I'm wrong about that, because I don't know when they're Sam's Bead Shop will upload that. It'll be on their channel, and I'll get you an exact date. I'll put it on our calendars. Yeah, and so let's see, any questions I missed? Anything? Just lots of thank yous, guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming to this class and keeping me company and beading with me on a happy Saturday, Seed Bead Saturday. Oh, and Karen, she says, Karen, in Canada, Monday is Remembrance Day. Oh, so we share a holiday there. That's cool. Awesome. Well, hey, guys. Yes, and Debbie, they are the same beads I used today. So if you want to grab 2 tubes, one is enough to do a collar. Like I did today, you only need 1, but if you want to grab 2, I am doing another project with this exact mix. So, and there's an 11-0. I don't have the 11-0 currently, so it won't be in the immediately next project, but I will be getting my hands on that 11-0 and I'll be doing something with it at some point in the future. So feel free to grab that too. And anything else that catches your eye, I'm always open to suggestion. If you want to send me a note, say, hey, I want a project like this. Ideas are super welcome. Sometimes I'm looking for them, sometimes more than you know. So yeah, help me out. Okay, guys, I want to wish you happy beading. And let me know if you have questions later. You can find me. And you can post a gem chat. I'll keep my eyes on gem chat, and in case any questions pop up there too. All right, happy beading, guys, and happy Saturday.